chona anjo pa ta ne ja so che ta ge ju su ke bi so na ge do la ben je sang ge do sang ge ju da so ge do na la anjo pa ta ne ja so che ta ge ju su ke bi so na ge do la ben je sang ge do bo sho sang ge ju da so ge so na la anjo pa ta ne ja so da ge ju so ke bi so na ge do la ben je sang ge do anche tu sei ne sono dawa tange pambe che tambe sono dunza ma godam de la ja za lo ya da ngan zo khasa ne ta ta ji che se le mendo tangbo ngan zo 점된 대기 콘조 호모 써야 봐
네.
그래서 점된 대기 콜로 땅배 값수 대시 충고 콜로 땅배 값수 다 때마시 이 차도 저 뒤자도 되라 대반 멤버 간사시 아 숭예의 딘시 때마시 숨바래 콜로 바베가서 최탄자 랑시 다와다 알레당고다 콜로 담베가서 딘시 충고단데네 최탄자 랑원에 여바 숨바래 콜로 바베가서 최탄자 랑원에 매바 숨바 생이 매비 충고서라고 야래 자자 콜로 바베가서 최탄자 라원에 저거 똥바 숨 좋아 다 콜로 타메가 수드니 시네다 도바들레 그래 알레 좀 되게 콜로 땅볼라드는 최판자 랑원에 여바 숨샤 콜로 바베고서 최판자 랑원에 매바 숨샤 좀 되게 내기 주는 숨그 말에 다 가릴라 고네 숨바이나 중진시 요레스
타마디 그래 손손 알고서데 기실라 타마디 식 잡고 마소
좀 되게 가라 고네 수라 고네 좀 되게 상로 가린 뭐 최단자 랑원에 예송 디지스 랑원에 매송 디 경제 가리나 디 구조 가리나 가르 거예요 좋아 어디 소인데 어다 신의 레벨 넘버 7 중국으로서 콜로 타마드 숨
네.
다 콜로 타면 그 가이산 콜로 담배값 수송해야 돼. 군다베 쳐남 라 고네 군다베 쳐라 고네 쳐다 가서 말해 콜로 담배값 수 상황도 용주고 쳐라 고네 랑게 팅이 여바 숨바르다. 콜로 바베값 수 쳐탄다 랑원에 매바 숨어데 군다가 쳐라 고네 숨바르다. 어디서 다 코라스 센자만 드셔 되게요. 그러?
데 사마 고고 송이나 쿤다 딱베스다 시다 고마송 데데 시다 고마송
생이 숨세 샤겨 생이 숨
네
콜로 바베 콜로 타메 값수 군다게 추
쿤다기 추
군다베 추서 똑베 나왔을랍시 되게
똑베 나와 오케이 똑베
나와디 랑게 생이게 주야 말레스
똑베 나와랑 기스니 주고요 말레스 디디 타마디 코로 타마디라 송송와
어디 센자베 디살로 코고도 센자베 드셔디게거도 드셔 센자베르다
나지 쿤다랑 기스니 요 말레스 오케이
샤와도 용주랑 생이 요레스
상기스니 랑 두 요레스 오케이
샤와당
샤와당
샤와서는 가래
생원선의 생기 왕내 안내기 그런 두부리만 또 그런 랑기요 말이
맞아 교단견라 때문에 깨봐 교단견라 조긴이다 깨봐 와다 그냥 들어 샤와서는 교긴이다 깨봐 알아
네네
교단견라 때문에 깨봐서는 샤마체
네네
이 교단견라 깨봐이는 랑원의 예스 과래 관리 수수하지 할로 그 알랭아스 엔 대체 셰기르 쿠스 콘달레
오야 맞어
가봐도 우주 시비자지 당근들이
nari. Degi shewang, chigi kunda, chigi chewang. Chewang, okay.
Chi tongbu, chi tongni.
Chigi tongni.
Tongni de rangone yores, rang tsingi drubares.
Nari, nari.
Tasu, kanyasana, o dambe kaso chotanja rangone yoba subate, tasen zambe ki drawa karikya waresana, chotanja rangone yoba subate, shewa da, shewa sana gyugine keba, ngobo da.
Nari.
Tongni sada rang tsingi drubare, chazan dela kone, chotanja rang tsingi druba sumshas.
Nari.
Kolo babe kaso chotanja rang tsingi madruba sumbate, kuyin dabe chola kone sumbashas. Da kira tata le tu isama dadon rishede.
No, kale di mambo son ya yore, lo de kale de son anegi kale yung to lo. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we have to understand, so is many aspects, but basically what Geshe-la explained and asked us to reflect last teaching was what the teaching of the first wheel of the Dharma, was the teaching of the second wheel of the Dharma, and to whom is addressed. Who is the auditor of those teachings? So that's the first thing we have to understand. So the first wheel of the Dharma was explaining the Four Noble Truths. Okay, Four Noble Truths. And the auditor, or the people who are listening to that, is the Temen, c'est-à-dire the, let's say, individual vehicle. Not say inferior, let's say individual vehicle. So those people from this individual vehicle. And here, in this teaching, explaining that the phenomena are truly established. Rongmune Jugba. Everything is truly established. Whatever phenomena are truly established. So that's the first wheel of the Dharma. The second wheel of the Dharma was explaining that all the phenomena are not truly established or empty of being truly established. Rongmune Jugba. There's no such phenomenon. And here we call it Pakpa, means higher wheel of the Dharma. Higher wheel of the Dharma. And on the third wheel of the Dharma, the name of this third wheel is the idea of truly differentiate very precisely. Okay? So that's the idea, to truly differentiate very precisely what is truly established and what is not truly established. And here we encounter a little bit some definition of understanding from the Madhyamaka school, from the mind-only school. Okay? And in the mind-only school, I just want to make sure. In a mind-only school, okay, yeah. In a mind-only school, we defined three kinds of phenomena. Some of them are truly established, some are not truly established. This is why on the third wheel we have this idea of two explanations, some truly and some not truly established. Alors, in the contrary, the first one is just absolutely truly established. There is no phenomenon which is not truly established. And on the second, there is no explanation where, the first one, there is no phenomenon we are not truly established. All of them are truly established. On the second wheel of the Dharma, all phenomena are non-truly established. There is no phenomenon truly established on the second wheel, which is actually the real explanation. But here, on the third wheel of Dharma, the Buddha explained different kind of phenomena, and we have three of them. So we talk about the two, and then the third one we go slowly because Geshe-la and before explaining more about the third one. So let's see the first one. So the first one is called Kunda. Kunda means totally designated, something like that. And those phenomena are not truly established. Non-truly established. For example, is something like
tobe na shara wo zo kundare tirang singi madubare sura
Nare. So we are here on the minority school. Okay, so on the minority school we have this different explanation. One is kunda, one is shenwang, one is tongni. So kunda truly designated, totally designated. Let's say kun totally designated. One is shenwang. Shen means other and wang is power. So it's literally power by other. It means something. Yes, absolutely. So here it means they are based on cause and condition to appear. That's what we say. So this one is powered by other, or powered literally by cause and condition. And the last one is toni, emptiness. So what you have to understand when you say kunda, it means these three categories. So it's not the two last one we talk about. So when you say kunda, it means it's not something established by cause and condition, and it's not emptiness. So these phenomena, which call kunda, are not truly established. They are not anything. So, cosa de Geshe-la nyuma kana son naso ge cosa de Eiffel Tower sanotan paina di kundare lo. Korongi shenwan mare, korongi toni mare. Go naso sanotan ya nangwa da. Dirwa. Okay, so to be precise, last time Geshe-la was explaining, for example, when you think Eiffel Tower, this is kunda, because it's just an appearance in your mind. There is no cause and condition that creates that, and it's not emptiness. So it's this kind of phenomenon. So it is first category, kunda are non-truly established. Okay? Because when you say shengwang also wrong money duba res samgadurwa. Wrong sini duba res. Wrong sini duba re, wrong duba chipa chikan res samlantan yade. Wrong duba. Degree loa nari. Okay. So here when you say shengwang, so power by cause and condition, those phenomena on the rangi seni dubares, if you little bit difference between truly established by himself and have this own definition established, something like that. So it's a little different between the two. But for simplification, for tonight, we can say like it's the same kind of aspect. So these phenomena are truly established because they are based on cause and condition, and they exist their own definition or their own. When you say definition in Tibetan, it's seni, means they produce an action or something that is real. So this is the idea of, let's say, truly established based on cause and condition. Okay. And when you say, and toni koron rangi seni dubares, toni koron. And when you talk about the last one, toni, the emptiness, this is also a phenomena which is truly established. We have his own seni dubaran, so that all definition to be established. So that's the way that Semzampa, the minority school, express in the third wheel of the Dharma what is truly established and what is not truly established. So there is this distinction, this definition between division, let's say, between the two aspects. Hola, so.
좀된 대기 딱 자와시로 값수 가르순고 알았을라데 좀된 대기 콜로 밥에 뭐 소때 콜로 밥에 초탄자랑 원에 두가 똥바 사디기 디셔디 저와데 콜로 가사 다 자와시로 그스나 만디셔디 저기야 봐
콜로 밥에 캡슐로 콜로 니바 디 캡슐
콜로 니베 값수 좀된 대기 초탄자랑 원에 두가 똥바래 숨으로 봐
나리
라운에 주가 똥바 세대 전다 가르치기요래 세대 자와시로고 쪼 대시기요래
나리
다이네 자와시로고 콜로 당베기 고스 숭야 된 디르다 콜로 타메가 가스 숭야 된 디르다 뒤에 냠도 대시기요래
나리
니가 냠도 셔자 데 콜로 당부 셔야 데 쪼 테메기 가살로 숨바 인데선 도데바다 지라마올 숨바 인데다 데 태기 말에 데 되게 말해스.
음.
콜로 탐에 가서 조송해야 센장말 숨바인다 대 되게 말했다. 콜로 바베 가서 숨에 태바레스잖아. 어디 된게다. 사람들.
Oh, that. Okay. So, in the Savacheram, the text of Nagarjuna, what is explaining basically, it's the second wheel of the Dharma, saying that all phenomena are empty of being truly established. Rangmuni Juba Tongbaris are empty of being truly established. And also, so it's the main idea, it's the second wheel of the Dharma. That's really what the Buddha say about the non-truly established, about all phenomena. Okay, so that's it. But at the same time, in the Shawetcherab, in the text of Madhyamaka Avatara, there is also the explanation about the first wheel of the Dharma. But saying that this is direct to Vaibhashika and Svatantrika, these two, which is individual vehicle, this is not real teaching. This is not the truth, let's say. It's just an explanation for those persons. So it's not the truth for the first wheel. And he say also the third wheel, direct or let's say designate to explain the reality of the phenomena for the Siddhamatra, the Manjuni school, this is also not the truth. This is just an explanation for those two schools, of three schools, three for the Hinayana and one for the Mahayana, the Siddhamatra. But this is not the truth. The real teaching of the Buddha, the real truth is explaining on the second wheel of the Dharma. So this is why the Chavacharab is mainly focused on this explanation, explaining how the phenomena are not truly established.
This one.
Oh, this one, this is it.
The Tibetan. That didn't answer courage. Didn't my culture go to sell it? Oh, Babi got to Chutanja Raman and never soon the carrier Salade. Chutanja Raman and never. I'm going to Chutanja Raman and never Janja race. Chutanja Raman drew the Tombares, Tambona Chutanja Raman drew the Tombares. In a tomba de Della Nansu somehow Semjatanja Della Monde yours.
Monde yours, Tongimendos.
Oh, they told me that they thought me, they have women. Della Momba Mariba the shoe chambosiore. Mariba said with the ignorance lagrova.
Nure lagi do na gabu me sigdini on the dire la consul lagido.
Or the lagra chaza Mariba said they can't come Mariba. Tambuna Chutanja Ranchi to the Tomba de Tomba de Maribarita. Tomba de Matonare. I was like,
Matonga Yabudo, Matonga Kisiri.
Matonga Santa Massa, Tigala Ranchi Chutanja Ramon is Jevan Singidu.
Oh,
Mariba said again. Chutanja Ramon is Jevan Singiata.
Oh, that's
Follow Tambeka Suya Chutanja Ramon is Yusumanashin Zingia, the Maribati. Rajan, that called Babika Su, Naranto Kainsta, Tombani share where the Kainstana. Chutanja Ramon drew it, Tomba soon at the Kainstana. Mariba the Jewish address. Mariba the Labas question. Mariba Sana, Kansak Tatu to Banzime, Mariba the check a Tatu to Banzime, Mariba the Jewish shadow, what should I have to the Tomba?
Nare, Kugudu. Okay, so I just okay. So when the Buddha explained that all phenomena, whatever phenomena we consider, are empty of being truly established. He explains this very clearly. And why? Why to do that? Because we are, let's say, unaware about this reality. We don't see all phenomena as being truly established. We don't see that all phenomena are empty of being truly established. So this is what we call in Tibetan, we say marikpa, Marikpa, usually we translate by ignorance, but I don't like this word personally, because it's not about not knowing, it's not seeing, it's not perceiving. We say matong, like you don't see. You don't see that we, as a human being, we don't see that there is non-phenomenon which is truly established. We don't see the emptiness of being truly established. We don't see there is all phenomenon, whatever phenomenon we consider, is empty of being truly established. We don't see that. This is why we say in Tibetan, ma rikpa is very clear. Ma is negation and rik is to see, to perceive. And on top of that, we don't see that, we don't see this emptiness of being truly established, but also we grasp all phenomena as being truly established. We grasp that all phenomena is truly established. You see, that's another. Yeah. Okay, that's another aspect. Okay, and here when you say grasp of the appearance of the truly established of phenomena, there is actually two. We grasp the person of being truly established, and we grasp the phenomenon of being truly established. This is why we talk about Marikpa in two aspects. Marikpa, the non-view of the emptiness of the truly established of the person, and the non-view or the mistaken view or the non-view literally of the this is going okay on the emptiness of the truly established of all phenomena. So there is a person and the phenomenon. And why the Buddha explained this second wheel of the Dharma is to make us understand and see that we don't see this emptiness, and on top of that we grasp for something which is not there, which is the grasping of the truly established of phenomena and the person. These two.
Te chomde de rang so chomde de korang musu de kene rang sumbar was awan sumbar de te na ko khotu ya mar was ko ma to ba yin de pa bulu du ji ji jambe ya lo tene chatan ja rang xin zu de dong ba de nam sha de de la power da
that's it. So the Buddha explained that let's say, without depending on anything, just by his own view, he perceives like all phenomena are really empty of being truly established. He perceives that very clearly, and seeing that, he just wants to express that he perceives that if you look for something which is truly established, there is not such a thing. So it's empty of being that. The phenomena are completely without this aspect of truly established. This is why we say empty of truly established. And seeing that, he expressed to us who didn't see things in this way. We perceive and we live the reality not in this way, but on the contrary, thinking that everything is truly established. And so the Buddha explains this on the second wheel of the Dharma, and we didn't understand really. We didn't have the capacity to fully understand and to have the enough knowledge or comprehension to understand this aspect. So this is why Nagarjuna, based or supported, let's say, by Manjushri, wrote this text of Tsawachera to make us understand clearly this aspect of all phenomena being empty of truly existence or establishing by themselves. This is what it's the purpose of Nagarjuna. It makes us understand the view of the Buddha through the help of Manjushri.
제가 다 자와시럽 가고 아시그래서 다 간사게 다와 간사 서들 랑원이 주가 동바스다 가사를 셴베 최 랑원이 주가 동바스제 다들 가인스는 좀 된데 그 수만한 시절 좀 된데 그 숨기도 서 군세 사람마담시 좀 된데 그 숨보다 뭐이네지 이다 메시 리베 제바찬데 리베 제바다 리바가 이거는 제바찬죠 리베 제바찬은 왔다 타던 리베 때라 팝투시 저단지 라운드 도 동바인만이 세보 시버지 텐지 좀 된데 그 숨만한 신지 텐지 그런 게 또지 이 신에다 자오시로나 망티에디 두스가 들어와 자오시로 좀 해야 돼
거기도
오케이.
So here it's very important to understand. It's like, okay, so when we talk about this, we say there is these two aspects. First is what we call in Tibetan kansak, means the person. So the person, we talk maybe what is the person, but let's say person in general. This person is not truly established. Okay, it's empty of being truly established. And all other phenomena, which is not the person, are also empty of being truly established. So it means everything, basically. The person and everything which is not the person. So it means all phenomena are not truly established. But it's very interesting because in this text, Nagarjuna didn't just say what the Buddha said. You know, he didn't say, okay, the Buddha says this and that and that. No, he will be not so powerful. So the idea here is, without referring to the speech of the Buddha, he try to, let's say, using the logic to describe, to, let's say, maybe even you can say, to analyze very deeply, very profoundly, all the logical reasoning to see if yes or no the person and the phenomena are truly established. So it's not something just say, the Buddha says so I'm going to repeat what he says, so then we have to believe, and that's what the Buddha says, so everyone have to accept. No, absolutely not. It's really using the most profound logical argumentation, analysis, and to see if this analyze conclude, you can say, with the same exposition of the Buddha did, saying that all phenomena are truly established. So that's really the idea of Tsawechirap, of this text, is using the logic to see where we get, where we reach, what the conclusion we reach using its analysis, and not believing or saying the Buddha says so it's okay. So it's very important to understand. That's Tsawechirap. That's really the purpose of this text. That's so.
제가 나한테 개심부치 같이 그랬으나 콜로 안 될까 중에 아마 시서도 개심부치 때문이랬어. 제가 뭐 탑시셔도 개심부치 그래. 대마시 수에들 차라니였어. 딘시 차라니. 대마시나 개주 주루였어. 개주 주루디 하고 개심부치도. 나 바로 동문에 집이야 봐. 로종문에 제가 가서 그래지 대마시 개주 주루데 야구 하마고나 나도 코알라 탄데 삼바코라지. 코알라 타른데 타번 되게 삼바데 맞다 있네. 다 가인서 안되게 뭐 전부 니지 말해. 대마죠나 다 대마신데 남거라야 하면도. 저도 나도 알레 담보 가니 있구나. 임신 남자들 뭐야고 자 대마시 rakven남샤 들이다. 대시 참면 남샤 들이세 내주다 하고 야다. 다 대시 참모데 가네시에서 조 자시르고 마송. 하고서 대시 rakven남샤 돼. 대시 rakven남샤 돼. 그래서 제라마오다 도대비 중단하는 시에 오버런주 봐 맨시가 중단하는 시기도. ranjubata, sensabata, dodebata, chirama, pedagi, tumdatiki nalata, dinshi rabe namshat sungdo.
Naso.
Temba shi chame namshati, oda uma kanjube mata, konsu shidaga she tuguyo mata. Dea, kashange kechimbochi re, nanzu, nachi nezu hakwaya kera.
Nashi. So, when we say we want to study or understand the thought of the Buddha, because this is really what we do on this course. It's not just anything. It's really the purpose is understanding the speech of the Buddha. What is really his speech and what is really actually Buddhism. You can even say that. So when we think in this way, really want to understand Buddhism, really want to understand the thought of the Buddha, what is his teaching. So in this aspect, the Four Noble Truths is an essential aspect. It's essential to understand clearly what is the Four Noble Truths. And there is many layers. Actually, there is 16 aspects of the Four Noble Truths. We're going to go more and more into detail about this 16 aspects. And it's very important to understand all of them very clearly and very precisely. Otherwise, you won't generate the wish to be liberated from samsara, from the suffering, because you don't really understand what is the real purpose of this idea of to be liberated and everything. So this is essential. If you don't understand, you will never generate this wish to liberation. Okay, so that's a very an aspect. And then, last time we already talked that in the Four Noble Truths, there is a gross and a subtle aspect of the Four Noble Truths. And we need to understand both. It's very important. And if you want to understand both, you absolutely need to study Tsawashira, this text of the Madhyamaka. Why? Because the gross aspect is explained in topics or in tenets which are not the Madhyamaka Prasangika. So when you talk about the gross aspect, you can find this explanation in we say in Sanskrit, Vaibhashika and Sotantrika and Sitaramatra. This kind of tenets. They explain the gross aspect of the Four Noble Truths. But if you want to study the subtle aspect, the only text, the only explanation comes from the Madhyamaka Prasangika. Because none of these non-Madhyamaka Prasangika tenets are capable of explaining or presenting the subtle aspect of the Four Noble Truths. So this is why it is so crucial to study this text and to have the perfect understanding of the two aspects of the Four Noble Truths, the gross one and the subtle one.
Da di na na le da na zu sang go da me ba si la yin de da me ba de na ba yu zhe qian men xi ge do na ba zhu da sang men a me ba yin xi ge do ye de la ya ta ra ke ba xi bu xi yo de o so da me ba si ta ra ki da me chang mo se de mo tang ji ba ma da ren ju ba men xie ge da me chang mo ranjubata, sensabata, doda, tamamode. Never children to do there. I mean, come to Kellan took me. Pagosa. Chela Chane. I never come to Motoba in the Maripa said a poyage. Langa de Umatanki with Tundala Machana. Married. Langa de married. Ranjuba mentioned Shuna Casa Shamayana. Maripa Rapati Payagana, Langachi Yor Matachi, Maripa Chamupoyag, Langa de Yomata. Not it. So, what we have to understand when you talk about Mari says the four seals of the Buddhism, and one of them is Dame, means Da is self, okay, and Me means there is no. It's like absence. When you want to something is there is, you say yes, there is, and we say me, it means there is no such a thing. So it's so you say da me means the absence of the self. Okay, every Buddhist tenet school
agree about this idea, saying like there is the absence of the self. There is, you can say even no self. That's okay to say this way. But in saying that, there is many differences. Okay? Many differences over saying there is no self or the absence of the self. And even if everyone or any tenets accept the idea of non-self, none of them, except the Madhyamaka Prasangika, really go up to the subtle aspect of the non-self. They all go in a very gross or rough aspect of non-self, but none of them really understood what it really means, the non-self, in a very subtle way. So, due to this fact, as none of, even the Madhyamika Svatantrika, just the one before, the Madhyamika but Svatantrika, means they still believe of something that exists on his own side or something. Anyway, even if it's, we will talk maybe in the future about these different aspects and the subtlety between Madhyamika, Svatantrika, and Prasangika. But anyway, even this very high, let's say, philosophical school, as they don't understood the most subtle aspect of the non-self, they have no way to get rid of the subtle aspect of the ignorance. As we said before, I don't like this word already, let's say non-perceiving, the real nature. Okay? And due to that, there is no way for them to eliminate this marikpa, or this non-view, on a subtle aspect. So it means if you don't follow the path of the Madhyamika Prasangika, you have no way to liberate all the aspects on ignorance. So you will still be, let's say, yeah, maybe you can say caught somehow, caught by the subtle aspect of Marikpa. So you cannot free yourself. So this is why the study of Madhyamika Prasangika is so essential, because it gives you the only way to liberate all these different aspects, to be liberate from all these different aspects of Marikpa, even the subtle one. Last one.
Tam tendeje tar maranzo ra shen su yimba yina semje tamje girwa. 동행기 짜와 치겐디 수레스라 머리바 참모드네스다. 동행기 짜와. 그나 대마 시그나네 군주 참모드네스. 동행기 짜와데 가인서 군주 참모드네스. 군주 참모스라데 군주들아 내가 뉴모닝노나 뉴모 나와데 머리바데 머리바 나와데 머리바 참모다. 라셴기 동행기 짜와도 수레 쓰러다 가서 하고 하죠. 나라서 사마라 동행 용어에게 그 쪼를 가래. 머리바들다 쓰지 하고 오야래. 내가 머리바 참모들다 사고 오야래.
가르치니 참모리 가르치니 락바 말이스.
아, 네. 동행 락바디 가인스나 나라서 떠나 드네르지래. 아메 락바 공부할 때는 다음에 락바지 하고 또 이 공제 들어 냠냠나 가나 가서 틀는데 머리바 락바도 매가 사두고요.
네.
얘네 와서 나도 동네나 하면 돼. 화나 하대요. 하고서 이네지
코너라 롱데 그래.
그러니까 인생 문제 많고 저 봐줘라. 저 뭐야래. 나네도 하고서 또 나 하고서 계속 무시가 있으나 안서 코아를 지는 게 싸워도 가라했으나 머리바 참모들다스 내가 군주 참모스라 그래다스 엠바시나는 군주 참모스라 그래 내가 하고서
고송
아야 다들 간대지요 그래서 이게 남자들 그는 머리바들다스
nyonga kale sunga kakola wang yungudu ne sambala da kerangi mic test nyonta jurete ne kayu mari test sona yonka degré
ale
di mare krangi mare xitangi de AI krangi ketes nyonda yungdu di me passo gre jema krangi de réglage je gro inan digre yonga sono kapra yungdu
ya ran shen sna go so
ran shen
da shen simje tamje ge din 동행 싸워 동행 너 동행이 싸워대 말해봐 참못들다스 말해봐 라바디게 싸워도 셔투고요 말했어 야 저다 가서 동이 또 그게 군생 가래서라기 싸워시로 로로좀 최고의 군생 가래서 가서 동바 인내서 셔고요 동바 인내서 셔봐이나 말해봐 참못들 내가 서투고요 네네네네 대셔도 당한조 가서 채두자고 대셔도 당한조
네네. Okay, so there is one very important aspect. So when we think about suffering, we are all, let's say, in this what we call korwa, means you are in a situation where we suffer. Okay, and in the Four Noble Truth, one of the Noble Truth is Kunjok Denpa, means the Noble Truth of origination. Okay, origination. And when you say origination, it's actually double. There is what we call Nyumungpa, and Nyun means opacissement or something you cannot see. Nyun means agitation, and Mungpa means opacissement, something you cannot perceive due to agitation. And we saw afflictive emotion, whatever, but if you really go literally, means Nyu Mungpa, Nyun it's agitation, and Mungpa it's the situation where you cannot perceive anything due to this agitation. Okay. And the other one is Le, means the action we perpetrate in this situation of not perceiving due to agitation. Okay. And if you really look for the causes of suffering, is not in the karma, is not in this action, is in Nyumungpa, in the, let's say, something that agitates the mind so you cannot perceive anything. And even more preciously, in this Nyumungpa is in Marikpa, things we don't perceive, or the non-view. But if you go a little deeper than that, there is two aspects of this Marikpa. And the real cause of the suffering is a subtle aspect of Marikpa, non-perceiving. Because even if you get rid of the gross aspect of Marikpa, you will still be in the suffering of the samsara. You won't be liberated. So that's very, very important to understand. And this is why we are studying Tsaweshera, the Madhyamaka Prasangika view, explaining in this text by Nagarjuna, because it's the only way to get rid of the subtle aspect of Marikpa is to understand what is really conceived, what is really what we don't perceive in the subtlety of this Marikpa or non-view. And the only way to understand and to really realize that is by studying, this text of Tsawechera. So that's it. Geshe-la is explaining that is really crucial to understand. It's not just intellectual curiosity. I want to know Madhyamaka for whatever reason. No. It's really only way really to get out of this korwa, of this suffering, is to understand the subtle aspect of what we don't perceive, or prevent us to perceive the thing in a real way. So this is very, very important. And if you ask why we are studying Tsawechera, what the purpose is, this one, is to completely get rid of the real origin of the suffering, which is the subtle aspect of Marikpa. That's
so. 동해를 타로에 타르바 쓰셔. 동해를 타로. 싸워시로 나나 레당 뉴무 세베 타르 쓰신다. 어디 동해를 타고 타르바 쓰려고요. 들라. 다 된다고 타르바 됐어요. 다 가인스나 내로 타르도 떠데 싫어라 라레그레스. 동료도 비 싫어되냐 파도 과레스 레다 뉴모 세베 타바 타발라 동료도 비 싫어도 고 그래
So here we have the idea of tarpa, means liberation. Okay, so liberation. In the Tsawechrab, in the text himself, we say, leto nyumung serpe tarpa. And sepe is na seyagi kejaserwa. Meba suyagi. And donc here, leto nyumung, we say le, so karma, this action, and nyumung, you understand, right? There is two aspects of this word. Nyun means agitation, and mung is opacity created by agitation. Okay, and sepe tarpa, sepe means you get rid of these two, and this is the liberation. So when you talk about liberation, means get rid of these two aspects of le and nyumung. Okay, and this is the only way to succeed in this elimination and gain liberation of these two is to have tonitope sherab. That's the only way. To have the, let's say, because sherab, she means awareness, and rab means something like excellent. So let's say the excellent awareness that realize emptiness. That's exactly, we need absolutely know that. Without this excellent awareness that realizes emptiness, there is no way, there is no tool, there is no mean to eliminate the origin of suffering, which is, we have to say, the karma and this, let's say, agitating factors that create opacity in the mind. That's.
Yeah, that is. That is by India. 당한도 가인스나 니루라 친구로도 쇼베 마리바스죠 마리바스들라 가사가 단제다 추가 단지니체 예와르치나 마리바가 니요다스 가사가 단제다 추가 단지세 니요다스 이 소스 심준에 칠바피고스 마비바도 타바스 야마다스
나 피고레스 고론소
네버 소고르스타 다디 네버 속으로 네버 마속 봐도 타바요 말이스. 나 네버 소에가 라차가 가려서라도 원다 나서 돈이 줘야
돼. So here basically when you talk about toni or sherab tongpe kasade, so toni tope sherab, the clear awareness that perceives emptiness is not only emptiness, is neluk. It's the real let's say, the neluk, the way that everything abides, everything is basically. Neluk, needs to stay somewhere, and look is the way. So here it's very important to understand that this sherab, this, let's say, maybe superior awareness or excellent awareness, that see things in a real way is a direct opposite to what we call marikpa, means non-see, not perceiving the things the way they are. And this marikpa make us perceiving things in a wrong way, which is grasping of the self of the person and grasping of the self of phenomena. So things there is no self, even in a person or a phenomena, but Marikpa has these two ways to make us believe or grasp of the self of the person and the self of the phenomena. And if we don't get rid of, pu means only to throw this away, to free our mind for this grasping, there is no way to be liberate. To be liberate means really don't liberate from the suffering. It means to get rid of these two wrong view. Shinru maloba means the not perceiving the thing as they are, but to be mistaken about seeing things the way they are not, which is grasping of the self and grasping of the phenomena. So our study, our reflection, and after that our meditation will be to develop this excellent awareness that get us the possibility, the tool to eliminate this non-existing, non-correct view about the self of the person and the self of the phenomena. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's it. That chötanja tongpani islade. Chötanja mebe gecha mardas. Tongpani isla yebe gecha res. Tongpani isla sangpani nichim dinjung la huacha wala. Dinjung re das. Tongpa isla rangwa ne zhubya tongpa re ma doko. Chi yor da, dinjung re da, gyuda gen la tenpa re da, chashe la tenpa re das.
So when you say Chotamshe Tongpani, all phenomena are empty. So when you say that, it's very important. Don't think like there is no phenomenon, there is nothing. It's like mebari, there is nothing, there is nothing. No. Absolutely not. It means that all phenomena are there. You means they are here, they are present. But how are they present or they're here is based on cause and attention, means like a raising phenomena based on something. They arise based on something. So this is what you have to understand. When you say all phenomena are empty, it means they are here, but retas, and this is something you can maybe slowly get it. It's like you kind of realize that all phenomena, whatever you consider, is based on something to arise. It's supported something, and then through this or based on this, it arises. This is what you have to understand, and not there is nothing. So it's very important to don't mistake this first part.
Padre, penangazo le gyunde selade. Le gyunde rangxing zhuge tongpare da selade. Ta le gyunde yo mare se gona.
Tsari ta.
Den tsaro, ta cheda songso.
Tsara longso.
Jab bunjo songde go rangxing zhuge tongpare. Ada jab bunjo si yo mare da se gowa ina. Ta tsaso, no.
Tsaso, wa. Nare. So it's very important. For example, if you say le gyunde means let's say you can say the law of cause and condition, karmic cause and condition. Leg gyunde. So like le is the karma and gyunde. Gyun means because gyu means the cause and ge means the condition. So this law of karma, of cause and condition. Okay, and if you say this law of karma, of cause and condition are empty or is empty. And then if you understand like there is no cause and condition, then it's completely the end of the thing, because you will fall down into a negation aspect. Cheta means like you think like nothing exists, there is no cause and condition. Some people even say that, but no, that's completely wrong to think this way. And if you say, for example, the three noble joys, the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, are empty, you think this way, then there is no Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. That's the same thing. So it means it's completely wrong to think that. No, they are here, but appearing depending on something. Like origin, originate, jung, arising from something which is tenjung. It's supported. There is a support, on top of it, it arises. Not on its own. But it doesn't mean there is no Buddha and Dharma Sangha. There is no law and cause and condition. That's very important to very understand that. Otherwise, you fall down into nihilism. There is nothing. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, there is nothing. That's the end. We say in Geshe-la, tsare means like it's finished if you think this way. That's
yeah. Narazo Buddha la kege temba chondende la gora temba. Kar temba rasana. Shenam ge nelu chinchi malo ba temba ba. Temba sana. The leg kunde ge namsha temba. Tomba ni ge namsha temba. Temba shi namsha temba. Ge namsha temba. Temba sana. Ta temba de mes la ba yina.
That's all. That bit.
다다 상만나 셔서 저서
내려.
대통령 띵조
음.
정신주가 동바를 마다지 동바 쓰라쓰라 정신주가 동바래다 쓰라서 코라 열에서 고거로 맞추
내려.
여봐도 나라도 대원대 나라도 동해미대 나도 터바다 삼바다 공바치기요 나도 깔래지기요 내가 있어 내로도 시행시도가 마도 나도 내나다 가르쳐보고 있어
And donc, okay. So here, when we talk about the Buddha in Tibetan, we say Tongpa Shondende. Tumpa means Tumpa is someone who Tumpa like who show or expose, expose or show something. Tu means to show, to expose, and Pa it's like someone. And here, the Buddha, what is exposing, what is showing? He's showing the real nature of the thing. The real way of the phenomenon abide. He show what we say about the emptiness of this truly established aspect. He show the Four Noble Truth. He show all what we need to see that we actually don't see or don't perceive. So he is so important for us because he is showing, is exposing all this fact, which is not something he create or talk about. No, it's just showing, what is really in front of us, that we, due to our blindness, somehow we don't perceive. So this is so important. So if you think saying like the one who shows the Buddha is empty, that means if you think there is no such a person who show, then everything is gone. So you don't have anyone to show anything. You have no way to realize emptiness. You have no way to get rid of suffering. You get nothing because he's not there. There is nothing. So you have to really understand this way. When you say all phenomena are empty, or the one who shows the path are empty, or the Buddha is empty, you have to understand is there is such a Buddha. There is such a path. There is phenomena. They are there. Yepa means they are there. We can find them. But they are empty of being truly established. That's what he's saying. It not means there is no. Because sometimes you say no nice, no here, no, and okay, there is nothing, then it's no. No, you have to think no in the sense of non-truly established. That's very important because we are here, We are here, we are working hard to understand this view of emptiness. We are here to get rid of the suffering, to going from the path and progressing and really want to improve our situation, like less suffering, more happiness and everything. So we are here, we don't like, if you say we are not here, then okay, we don't need to do anything, I'm not here, you're not there, okay, good. So we just keep this way, not being some, no, that's not the case. We are actually here, but we are here not on our own truly established situation, but depending on origination. We are here as a depending origination phenomena. But this is very important. When you hear empty, you have to think they are there, but non-truly established. But they are there nevertheless. That's very, very important, not to misunderstand this point.
Oh yeah, 당하고 homework 시도가라 아인스나. 오, 머리바스라 타라니 쳐서. 머리바라가 머리바 타모스. 하샹게 계신부지. 대 하고 해야 돼. 와? 머리바라고스라디 우마랑기 바 멘지에 샤에게 머리바들라 머리바라고스라.
나리.
머리바 타모스도 고물루르고 샤에게 돼.
나리.
와? 간상 던지다 최근 던지인사 내 머리바 타모들다.
나리.
하고서 제가 근데 머리바 타모들 매바 가서 머리바 타모되다. 대왕게 레사기요래. 저도 레다 너무 세게 탈바디 내가 너무도 머리바 타모되더라고. 레게 주 머리바 타모 세게 탈바디. 아주 대하고 가서 탈바스나 들다. 아주 최고 최라 겹수 치우서 최군조 들다. 최군조 들다. 머리바 세베 세바도 최군조다.
마리바 세베 군조 군디 고롱레.
머리바 세. Maripa Pambe Pamba de la Chogunjula.
Maripa Pamba ki tap dadwa. Maripa Chamu ki tap.
Maripa Pambe tap de ta Maripa Pambe Pamba de la Tarba de la Chogunjula. 나도 상계라 겹서 쇼라 겹서 쇼스라고 그러는데 쇼 가레스로 템페레베 그 말로 봐. 먼저 뉴무 세베타. 뉴무 빵베 세바스는 빵바이 마.
네네네.
레다 뉴무 빵베 빵바데라 추구조스. 레다 뉴무 빵바르 제겐게 람데라 추구조스.
람딜라 추구조.
람데
제부 dans l'âme déni.
déni 다 어디 군이다. 최군자들 아주 겹수 쉬우서 최군자들다.
네네네.
다디는 아저게 간이스나 김들라 겹수 쉬우스라고도. 디 연대디 예겐게 강사디 김들이다.
디리. 나 잡아기 근속에 다데다보다.
디 아저 이거 보이셨어요. 나가 겹수 쉬우스를 되는 보이셨대. 나한테 잡아다 아니도 레슬라고야 말해. 대 기르군저도 김바이는다 수이나 임바이는다 잡아이는다 아니는 김바이는 또나 결혼했는데요. 기르군저래. 나서 근데 그냥 거기면도 그러게. 나서 기다 갑수시시시 라기도 마도 만약에 추가리유메 겐닝 카리유메 벳 그러면도 나서. 그래. 따라서 겹수 치우서 라와시고요. 나서 가서 머리배 왕게 동해도 용어야 대바메라. 머리배 왕게 중에데 코에 동해도 그냥 가서 용어야 대바메. 나서 동해라 판도요. 그래서 쇼군조 되게 가서 동해를 겹도 쓰서. 되는 가서 내가 아니 군조데 겹던 바보래. 진두 군조데 겹주는 다토래. 로고시니데. 군조데 겹문에데. 슬라인데 가면 어디라 보다. 쇼라 겹 쇼상아서 셔도 모션고야레스. 겹 숨도 모션고야다스.
tampoco de cosas de sangue kuncho sende 그런 소나
상계 군주스를 갈라 그랬으나 저는 상계 샤게 투가 안줄라 콜로 담배 가서電視 락바송 콜로 파베 가서 추탄자 랑원에 들고 똥바송 콜로 담배 가서 되네 생장은 더바나신 되네 남샤 찍소 어디게 마 쇼마 땡게는 상계 군주로 봐 다 쇼문에도 가랬으면 대람 녀술라 말 좀된데가 맞도 많은 신기 냠니 제게더니야 람데당 과된스 라인도 초군저 문에 샤르바 샤라 겹스 슈스데 랑저길 디고야 봐 남저 그게 되다
나레
다드네
나레
대냐면 나라도 체트고이나 디 김바이난다 보이난다 부모이난다 아니난다 타와이난다 소라지만 수 체트바이네는 대긴누군저 긴누군저스인데
마코송 들어와. 딘디 코랑 긴딘 군조 코랑기 소소 셈노라 제부토 그러와. 긴딘 군조라.
제부터.
데부만 톰나 코랑기 람년 람노라 이나다 긴딘 군조 레민 들어와.
레민 어디다.
나세. Okay. So if you think about, let's say, homework to understand. Okay. So here what we understand? We understand that so the Buddha explained what we say about this notion of marikpa, means not seeing literally the things the way they are. Okay, and we are studying tonight or this evening that there is two aspects: the gross aspect and the subtle aspect. And we seen also that the so we have seen these two aspects, and you have seen that the most problematic aspect is based on this subtle aspect. So when we think about Leton Nyumon, means like all the what we call in the second noble truth, the origination of suffering. The origination of suffering, we create this suffering, is actually based on the subtle aspect of this marikpa. And we have seen clearly that the only tenets that really, let's say, attack this topic or really give some means or method to get rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa, which is the real origination of the suffering, is only the Madhyamika Prasangika. All the other aspects are are not able actually to eradicate this Marikpa, this subtle aspect of Marikpa. So they are not the way to be free from suffering or to get liberation. So this is very important aspect. And also, because we always say a lot of things. So for example, we say we took refuge on the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And maybe we have some understanding of what it really means. Maybe we think that the Buddha is the Buddha, and the Dharma maybe is a book or something, and the Sangha maybe the monk wearing robes and on, blah, blah. But absolutely not. That's not what the three jewels are. If you really understand, when you say Chu means two things, basically. It means what is really will protect us from the suffering. And if you understand that the suffering is based on the subtle Marikpa and the action that perpetrate being, let's say, under the control of this subtle ignorance, you understand that the real protector of the suffering is two things. One is the way that we can slowly but surely get rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa. And another one, which is to get absolutely rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa. That's actually the Dharma. The Dharma is not book, is not any things we think, is these two things. Okay? One is the way, or in Tibetan we say lam, that gets rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa, that's one. And the other one is the actual get rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa we say. Okay, so that's the real Dharma. And then when we think about, okay, so what is the Sangha next? People think, oh, the Sangha is someone wearing robes and all, and I refuse on the Sangha because they are nice to me, blah, blah, blah. Absolutely not. There's no connection to be a monk or a nun or lay people, a man, a woman, whatsoever. It doesn't important. The Sangha is someone that gets rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa. If someone, no matter what his condition, he have no more in his continuum this subtle aspect of Marikpa, then is the Sangha. It doesn't matter what kind of situation he is. And if someone is not get rid of that, even if he's in the path of get rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa, this is not the Sangha. This is not the refuse of the Sangha. So this is very important, because I was saying to Geshe-la, we say Buddha, and you say I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, but not really know what we are actually saying. So it's crazy. We spend, years and years of saying that every day and not really understanding what it really means. And now if you go back to the first refuge, the Buddha is what we said before, is Teba Chondende, is the one who show, we show what? We show the real nature of the thing, explaining by three aspects. First rule of the Dharma, when he explains that the Four Noble Truths, and for the Vaibhashika and the Sotantrika. And then the second way, he show another aspect, which is for the, let's say, Madhyamika, or higher person, like the Bodhisattva, everything, when he says that all phenomena are empty of being truly existent. And then the one in the third wheel of the Dharma, who expose, according to the Siddhamatra point of view, some phenomena are truly established, some are not, depending on their view. So the Buddha, in any situation, is the one that show, and try to make us understand, according to our level, the real nature of the reality, the way they are really is. So this is why it's so important. And when he shows that, he actually point out what we don't see and what prevent us to see. And this is the Dharma become. Dharma become the understanding of all the suffering come from the subtle aspect of Marikpa. And when you say Lamde Tong Gomde, and then this is an aspect of the result aspect. When you get rid of the subtle of Marikpa, that's one aspect of the Dharma, which is the result aspect. And another one is a path to lead to this result. That's the second aspect of the Dharma. This is what Dharma has two aspects, the path and the result, or you say the lam and the cessation, same thing. Because when you get rid of the subtle aspect of the Marikpa, you get rid of suffering. So you attain the cessation of suffering. And then the third aspect of the Three Noble Truths, as we say, is someone who have actualized in his mind such a situation. So he can help someone to achieve the same goal. This is why we say the Sangha is the one who help the practitioner. Not in the way giving some practice or is my friend. But no. It's someone reach this state. So he can help someone to achieve the same thing. So that's really essential to understand. When you talk about the three jewels, what does it mean? Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. And Geshe-la really hope we have this understanding. What is the Buddha, what is the Dharma, and what is the Sangha, in the real sense of the term, not thinking about I don't know what. That's
Sure, Kunjo said, the morning, that can't just see about a canal how was it? They like kept worship. The Kunjo said, when I kept the money to get you in by in the money and Yamnicha against you in by in the Kirangi kept driven. That was the shade. There's so like Kirangi. They no call like Gabi Rawacha by that Rawat drew two girls. How was on Sangi the church done about Nashi? Kindugo watch it. Kerala Shogunjo to Duro Chigres. Agosan, Tihabudo, Sange Chotum Badnashi, Kinduki, Te Duyaki Kerala watches. The Kerala Shogunjo the younger Slayinde, Kerala Shogunjo Tokere Salade, that Kunja Tata call a tire robot Chingdua. Tamjel tire robot Tata Chetudua.
고속에 톱살과 고속에 람조살과
콘서 탑살과 제가 먼저 코알라 타이거 로봇 딱딱 제도도 와.
네네네네네.
저는 그냥 다 이지디 제초도 와. 이지디 제초도.
이제 제도도 와.
네. 자와 대박 참마다 대박. 뭐다 이지 대박을래. 내주디가 시에는 대박 터버스 셔버. 네네네네네. 시에나 몽대샤.
So if we have really understand what is the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, so we can really have confidence, because it's very clear basically. I mean, it's so simple. The Buddha is the one that's showing that, let's say, showing or exposing the things the way they are. Because he didn't invent anything or create some idea that I would think. No, just showing all phenomena are not truly established. That's a fact. I'm showing you that. And you didn't know, so in this way is showing us also that we don't see it. We see, showing us what prevents us to see the truth. It's called Marikpa, this different aspect of Marikpa. So that's clear. That's very simple to understand. Then he say, like, if you go to this path, so there is this Dharma, say joy, so Dharma refuge, saying if you go to this path of get rid of this subtle aspect of Marikpa, you will reach the situation where you will be free from suffering, because this is the cause of suffering. And then, if you get this point, this is really the refuge. That's really was really the thing that protect us from suffering, because we get rid of the cause of suffering. So what else can protect better than eliminating the cause that creates suffering? And then if you think about that, it makes sense. Like the Dharma make all of sense. Like the Lam, the path that lead to this elimination of the subtle Marikpa, and this result that we free. So that's very makes sense. So we can have confidence into that, because the Buddha was not saying anything which is some phantasmagoria or whatever. He just says this is the truth. You can see by yourself, and unfortunately, there's something that prevents you to seeing it. But don't worry, I give you the path that slowly you will get rid of this, and you will see the truth as it is, as I can see it. And then, when you think about the Sangha, Sangha is someone, no matter monks, non-lay people, man, woman, no matter whatever, is someone that actualize, maybe, something that have eliminated, let's say this way, this subtle aspect of Marikpa. So we can have faith and confidence into this guy, because he already go to the path and he achieve the result. So if you ask someone to help you to achieve something that he already achieved, he is a very good helper, because he have been through this path, he have been to all these different things, and he reached the goal, he reached the final goal, to be rid of this subtle aspect of ignorance. So you can have full confidence. It's not, we say in Tibetan, mungpe depa, means a blind faith. You say you have a faith on someone, and you have to faith on me, and I don't know what I achieved or what I did or not, but you still have to have faith on me. No, that's not the point here. It's someone that we can have confidence. He will help us, because is truly, really achieves the goal, and he leaves this situation where he is completely free from sufferance, because he have eliminated completely the subtle aspect of Marikpa. So this you can understand. And if you understand the three noble joys, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, in this way, then you can just have logical faith and confidence that you will be free from suffering. Because I don't know, I hope is clear, but it's every aspect is logical. The first one, the Buddha exposing the real Dharma, what it means, and the Sangha, someone who are really achieve the goal. So every aspect can just bring confidence and not blind faith. And if you do this way, everything is clear and logic. I hope it is clear.
따라서 걸리걸 하고 그래. 다 이내 그런저 엘네즈디 나도 로존 전에 시고 엘네즈식 되래. 좋아.
나래. So yeah. So slowly through this study we will understand more and more. That's very sure about that. And the thing is, it's very important for tonight to have this understanding why we are studying this text. Why? It's not a curiosity intellectual or thing like I'm studying Madhyamaka. No. Why is so crucial, essential to understand this view? And that's really the purpose of tonight's teaching, to understand why we are studying such a text.
얘네양 코아텐데 야라 중이스디 요르다스 엘레트 냥데스지 요르다 타르와타 탐제키베 고방스 요르다스 일로메바 교단 제베남샤데 로메바 요르다스 다 메세데 카레스 테다 템버 주바 라오네 주바데 메스라고 요르다스 메주티 똥바레스라도 관계 똥바레스 담바 주베 똥바 라오네 주베 똥바레스라고 야마도 렌데게 똥 준데게 똥 데네베 텐데 야라 주인게 똥 군조송게 똥스라고 야 마르다스 데나자 하고디 게심 쉬도가
Nari. So what is really important to understand, when you say this sentence saying that all phenomena are empty, you say that's true, absolutely true, but it doesn't mean that there is no phenomena. There is no, for example, we say Tenjin and Lachuni, the 12 link of interdependence. there is the 12 leaf of interdependence. There is the aspect of laws and cause and effect. There is the aspect of nyande, of the nirvana, of the liberation of suffering, of this aspect of korwa, of samsaric aspect. And there is also Tamche Gyempa Gopang, the stage where you reach omniscience or Buddhahood. There is such, everything there is. But when you say all phenomena are empty, it means they are empty of being truly established. They are empty of being like only on their own, independent, without being something which arise depending on something. We see there is many ways to understand this tenjongwa, but at least you have to understand there is no such thing which is arising of being there just by his own, just on his own, truly established. So that's very, very important to understand and not confuse these two aspects. If you say all phenomena are empty, it doesn't mean there is no phenomena. It doesn't mean when you say let's say the 12 link or interdependence are empty, it not means there is no 12 link. There is such a thing. So that's very important, not to confuse and misunderstand this point.
Exactly. Nelu selaudo. Dena nelu tartu baslaudo. Nelu tartu basana kansal janang susola jane. Nelu tartu di negi tungnyere. Negi pumunga ge nelu tartu di negi pumunga ge tungnyere. Nelu tartu se wotsu kogorda. Nelu tartu se. Pero chi suso ge denge su da dero jala soba de dage nelu tartu de ting tungnyere. Anta debdigi nelu tartu de debdigi tungnyere. Wo dusla.
Nare. Another thing, when we talk about neluk, we talk today, ne means to abide, and like chine, abiding in the calm, chine. Abide, ne, it's abide, and luk is the way, like the way or the manner of abiding, okay? So, if you think about this neluk, the way you phenomenon abide, and taktuk means ultimately. And if you see like how phenomena abide ultimately, and what you reach and what you get from that is emptiness. Geshe-la is saying like, if I ask myself, how do I abide ultimately? The answer is emptiness. How my 5 aggregates abide ultimately? Emptiness. How even this book, there is a book in front of me, how this book abide ultimately? Emptiness. That's, you can say, it's the emptiness of the book, the emptiness of the 5 aggregates, the emptiness of je, or me, also in French, of I, the emptiness of I. What the ultimate way of abiding of the I is the emptiness of I. So all phenomena, whatever you consider, was the ultimate way of abiding, mean to be here, to stay in front of us. And if you look about that, what you found is the emptiness, or whatever you consider. The I, the book, all phenomena, aggregate, etc., etc.
Chazan tombayin sadela samlo shu chep tambayina. Wa yaku chabayina. Nezi yaku hakodobayina. Te lendela yiji shu chambocheya. Kep kunjo sona yiji shu chambocheya. Tendela tendega namshala yiji shu chambocheya dile yungoyara. Kayisma. Ondandegi chobanda temba bata tombayin tembala tene ngumuludu hangsan cha ta teba shibu chi kejene zashi da zara. What
So, if you reflect more and more about the aspect of emptiness, and if you understand more and more aspect of emptiness, toni, always this notion, always you reflect and you get more and more understanding and more precise, let's say, first say, idea of understanding of this aspect more and more, you will develop naturally a greater and greater faith into different aspects of the Buddhism. For example, this aspect of Dandala Chuni, of this 12 link of interdependence. Or you will have more and more faith into what you say, the law, the aspect of the karmic law, of the cause and condition, and based on the karma. And you will have more and more faith into the three noble joys, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Because actually what happened for Nagarjuna? For Nagarjuna, he have such understanding, such profound and deep understanding about this aspect of emptiness. This is why he praised the Buddha so much. He praised the Buddha so much that how can someone can perceive and explain the nature of the thing so clearly, so precisely. And this is why he composed this text of the Tsawechera. It's out of faith and devotion you have towards the Buddha by exposing such profound teaching. This is why he's decided to compose this text.
당한선 남바소라 진바야 남바다 준다마와 제라마와니는 템바니 켄지기도 템바시 켄지기도 도데베게 템바니 켄지기도 템바시 켄지기도 센잠베게 다나레 우마란주베데 우마탄주베데 템바니다 템바시스도 참에 켄지기도 얘네야 템바니게 남샤 셰인데 참아 민다와더라 민다와 템바니디 도 제라마와 샤야드다 도다와 샤야드라 캬바도 도데바다 제라마와 샤야드나 센잠베 데마니 남샤 샤야드라 캬바도 다 센잠바 멘제게 데마니게 남샤 샤야드다 냐 우마 런주베 샤야드 데마니라 캬바도 런주바 멘제게 데마니게 남샤 샤야드라 탄주에 샤야드 데마니게 캬바도 하루도는 탄주에 샤야드 데마니 남샤드리다 모두 사고다. 다 템바 시상단에 두 생각을 하고.
네. So when we think about Nongpa, Buddhist, literally someone from inside, and Nongpa, Nong is inside, Pa is the being. So anyway, so someone from inside, like someone based on this inner development, inner understanding. So that's Nongpa, or Buddhist. All the Buddhists accept the idea of the Four Noble Truth and the Two Truth. And Two Truth being Kunzo Denpa, Dodon Denpa. And the truth completely concealed and the ultimate truth. They all, as all school, accept there is this aspect of the Four Noble Truth and there is this aspect of the Two Truth. But all have different understanding or aspect concerning these two truths, which is completely different. If you think about the way that the Vaibhashika exposing the Two Truth and the Four Noble Truth is different from the Sotantrika. And the same. The Sotantrika exposition is different from the Siddhamatra exposition. The way they explain and they conceive and understand these two truths is completely different. And in the same way, this Siddhamatra is different from the Madhyamaka Svatantrika. And the Madhyamaka Svatantrika exposition and understanding of these two truths and the Four Noble Truths is also differing from the Madhyamaka Prasangika. So this is very important to understand. This all accept the idea of two truths. Let's say we say already a conversational truth, literally a truth which is completely conceived, and the ultimate truth. But the all different schools have their own understanding, and they all differ. There is no even one school you have the same way to perceive from the other.
타르토나 다 셈기네로 타르토바도 쉬고요. 셈기네로 타르토바도 쉬는 상계가 릭스를 하고 상계가 릭스 하고 있는 셈기네로 타르토바 쉬. 다 공부할 때는 셈기 견디가 되면 sha고요.
나지. So from here, so from here we need to look also, you can say, or to reflect or analyze what we call Semgi Nelu Taktukpa. So we talk about Neluk, the way of abiding of the phenomena. And now we will need to think about our mind, how our mind literally abides, the way of abiding of the mind, and ultimately, so how the mind abide ultimately. And so when you talk about that, we go to Rik Sangegi. Rik, we said last time, Rik is like the
Buddha nature.
Buddha nature. The Buddha nature. You know, what is in our mind, what can go to the Buddhahood. Or this Rik, we say Sangigi Rik, Ranshine Rik, Deshentupa, we say many words, but anyway, so this Buddha nature. And if we understand this aspect of Buddha nature, we will understand how to get rid of everything that prevent us to achieve Buddhahood. And that's the way we will work on it. So that's another very important aspect.
Yeah, that's another Deshaga.
Nare. Nare. Okay, so we will stay here for tonight. We stop here. Yeah, it's good. It was a nice teaching. That's
Thank you. Janju Senjo Rinpoche, Maki, Bana Kekurshi, Keba Nyamba, Mebaya, Kone Kondo Kewa, Gari Rawe Kuru, Shingam Su, Penta Tewa, Malin Jumane, Jereso, Tenzi Gaso, Shobe Sudi Bado Tenguru, Merci beaucoup.
Ora, merci beaucoup. Okay.
Merci. Okay, thank you. 다 개규도 삼아야고 거기 얘기를 와.